We are up here on our trails, actually taking a hike looking for Buttons, and instead she found me. She literally came running up behind me, scared the crud out of me just because I was actually looking for her in front, and she came running up from me behind. She's by herself this morning, which probably means she's getting ready to have birth. Do a little belly watch here. This is the exact area where she gave birth last year. If the leaves were off, you'd be able to see my house through those trees on the other hill. I don't know where she found me or saw me on the trails, but all of a sudden I turned around and she was, well, I heard something running up behind me, and she was basically running up behind me on the trails. She usually gives birth mid-May to June. Swipe to reveal comments. Let me see. Oh, sorry. You can see the big old belly here. I've got fur all over my fingers from petting her. If you don't know our account, this is Buttons. She's 12 years old and she is pregnant again. She is a wild but tame deer. We raised her 12 years ago, and she basically just goes where she wants, but she still will bring her babies up to our house. Hi, Michelle. Like I said, if you're just joining us, I was walking the trails. Actually, I was out here looking for her because she was at the house by herself today, and I was kind of worried that she's going to have her baby today. So I went off looking for her without the dogs. And I'm clipping along at a pretty good pace, and all of a sudden I hear something running up behind me, and it was her. So she actually scared the crud out of me. I don't know at what point on the hike she saw me or heard me, but she came running up to me. That area right there is actually where she had her baby last year. So maybe she's up here by herself getting ready to have birth, to give birth. Yeah, someone's saying it's terrible that she's still getting pregnant being this old. But I kind of look at it as though Mother Nature will tell her when she's too old. And she's a good mom, and I think she enjoys being a mom. And it's what all of her deer friends are doing. So I kind of would maybe feel sorry for her if she didn't have babies. I mean, not that she wouldn't have us, but yeah, she's definitely old, but she just she likes being a mom from what I can tell. She's a good mom. She keeps licking her belly, and of course that's maybe she's contracting. I said that area right there, that clump of trees is where she gave birth last year. That's not the view everybody wants to see, but her hind end basically is looking like she's about to give birth. It still could be a while, though. It is usually mid-May to June before she gives birth. So to me, this is a little early. But the fact that she was at the house by herself today made me think that maybe it's getting time. Or else all of her friends are off having their babies. That salt block right there is actually the salt block I brought up here last year because she had her babies here last year. Her baby. Well, I'm this close to her because I raised her 12 years ago. But then, yeah, just now she just came running up to me on the trail. She heard me walking the trails. Has she had singles or twins? She's had twins more than she has had singles. This is probably her 10th birth, at least her 9th birth. And yeah, I don't mean to be ignoring the request to come on, but I just tend to keep my eye on the animals, and so yeah, just if you have any questions, just shout them out on here. But yeah, she's given birth to twins more than singles. Last year was a single. Yeah, the only reason I'm close to Button, somebody's asking me how they can get closer to their deer. The only reason I am close to her is because I raised her 12 years ago. I can't get this close to her other, the babies that she's raised. But yeah, I am basically her first family. Now she has a much, much bigger family, but I was her first family. If you don't know her story, her mom was hit by a car 12 years ago. We raised her, but have always just wanted her to be free and to be a deer. She's going to go up there to that salt block. Like I said, that salt block right there is the block I brought last year at this time because she had her baby right there. But yeah, it literally could be any time that she'll be giving birth. Last year, I think it was May 21st, maybe the night of the 20th. I can't remember for sure. But it's been May 19th, 20th for several years now. Like I said, I was hiking this trail when she came running up behind me. Yeah, she's licking that salt block. I love that she's still using it. Like I said, I dropped this off a year ago because she had her baby up here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, we are shocked every year that she still has babies. Like, we think, well, she won't have another baby. She won't have another baby. Yeah, she keeps having babies. I've had messages from people that have raised deer into like past Button's age, like 18, 19 years, and they tell me that they had babies for many, many years too. And of course, the oldest living recorded whitetail was 22. And I think it was a captive whitetail. And even though she's not captive, she doesn't have a lot of predators as long as, you know, we don't have trespassing hunters. Like I said, it's just kind of crazy that I found her right here. Well, she actually found me. I shouldn't say I found her. She came running up behind me. But this is the exact spot where she had her baby last year. So she could have been following me a while and just we ended up, this is where I finally heard her following me, or she could have just been hanging up here and I'm not sure. She is 12 years old. Yeah, she grew up with my oldest golden retriever, G-Bro. And he is also 12. But he is showing his age much, much more than she is. Oh, you've had horses give birth up into their 20s? Oh, that's amazing. And then my old cat, who literally, to me, basically raised her. He was here before anybody. He is 18 now. On Easter, he was 18. And he's still alive. His mom is still alive at 22. So we got some old animals here. And they have, of course, grown up with my children. My children are grown and gone now. One's married and one's off in college. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna have to try to take a picture of that. That is so pretty. So all the deer, I am hiking alone today because I wanted to try to see if I could see any does and their babies, and I didn't want the dogs out here. I already hiked the dogs, and then I came out by myself. And I could have brought Jibro just because he's not going to scare any of the babies, but he's just too old and can't keep up with me anymore. So I came out here hiking by myself, and all of a sudden she came running up behind me. So at some point she heard me on the trail, saw me, and started running after me. I don't know if she's going to give birth today. All I know is she is by herself today. Like literally, she is walking into the patch where she gave birth last year. This is the exact patch she gave birth last year. Hi, Sandra. Sandra, I was just talking about Rabbit. So I was talking about my old cat and that he is 18 and that his mom is still alive. And Sandra has joined our live, and she still has Rabbit's mom, who is 22, I think, Sandra. You could maybe verify if she's 22 or 23. But Sandra's on here, and Sandra gave me Rabbit 18 years ago. And that old cat is best friends with this deer. And he has literally watched all of the animals come to our house over the years. And Sandra's saying hi. Sandra's, tell everybody how old Rabbit's mom is now. So like I said, this is the patch where she gave birth last year. Whether she's just in here by chance, I have no idea. But this is literally where she gave birth last year. And I was up here I was taking a hike, actually just looking for her, looking for any of the does and see if they were going to give birth today. And Buttons came running up behind me. So she actually found me on the trails instead of me finding her. Will be 22 in July. Yeah, so Rabbit's mom will be 22 in July. And she says she still is doing good. Yeah, well, the cat that she gave me is 18 years old. You can see him on my videos, on my reels. And he is 18. And you'll see him with her on the videos. They absolutely love each other. And my oldest golden, literally grew up with this deer right here. I'm in Missouri. If you don't know our story, we started building trails on our land during COVID when everything was shut down. And my husband made me a small dog walking trail, maybe a half a mile long. Then he added on, and he kept adding, and he kept adding. Now we have around 10 miles of trails on our land. We were just on Monkey's trail right there. Monkey's one of my hiking cats. And this is, of course, Buttons, who we raised 12 years ago. And she started hiking the trails with me. Then my cat started hiking the trails with me. So sometimes I have deer, cats, and dogs hiking the trails with me. Oh, she's gonna bed down right there. And that's exactly where she gave birth last year. So like, I'm absolutely loving this. This is exactly where she gave birth last year. Yeah, she got her name because my son said she's as cute as a button. Oh, it's not a National Geographic documentary that they did. It's a documentary crew from the UK, and I don't know when it's going to come out, but yeah, they had a bunch, of course, editing to do, and we were not the only story in there. Like, they were leaving my house and going to go do a story on a lady who had sharks that literally, she dives and then the sharks kind of just sit in her lap and she takes their hooks out and everything of their mouths. And so like, yeah, there was all kinds of stories that they did, and then they'll go home and edit everything. But it's Big Wave Productions out of the UK, and you can kind of look up their site, Big Wave. So yeah, I'm going to jump off of here though, because I want to actually take a video just off my phone of her being right here where she gave birth last year, and kind of document this and take a picture of her here. But thank you for joining our live. And if you've not looked at our reels, look at our reels, share Button's story. We appreciate any likes and comments and shares that you can give us, and I will keep everybody updated on her birth, and I will definitely be posting if we get any exciting news in the next couple days. If I can figure out how to end this. This is my first time going live on here.